Today we're taking a trip to Anitra's Never Never Land. Take it away, Anitra.
Hi everybody. So I wanted to give a mini garden tour today because it's about time to go to the garden center with Mom and my sisters, which we usually do every year for Mother's Day, and get all our annual plants, which brings a ton of color to the yard. So dog. So I figured I'd show you the base of what we're working with now that I've done a lot of spring cleanup, and then a little mini garden tour after we get the plants would be awesome. So I cleaned out this bed, and this was a super find on the side of the road. It was somebody had cut up a tree and inside was hollow, so I was able to create a quick planter, and I grabbed some creeping Jenny from up on the hill. And and right now the Arjuna's in full glory, and I kind of want to show you neighbor's Arjuna that's growing all through the grass because it looks pretty cool. So we'll show you that real quick because that's where John and I are actually living right now, or at least John is. And the columbine is starting to go out, but I mean, just a brilliant show this year. It was really, really beautiful early on, and these are awesome because they just reseed themselves every year wherever they want to, and I just let them do their thing, and it looks fantabulous. And the tulips are going out now. I took a picture of these because they were brilliant, but I didn't get any film, but I'll put that picture in somewhere right around here. And I wound up adding some ferns into this bed to fill in this area because these ferns like to spread. You can see them over here. They really like to take over. And the Hanakaloa grass did wonderful coming back this year, so I'm happy about that. This is actually garlic mustard. This is actually a wild edible. It's not native here and it's quite invasive, but before these, it's really garlic and mustardy, a little bit too much for a lot of people's flavor. But if you can get these shoots before the flower open and steam them, chop them up, use them like asparagus, they're really mild, but again, before the flowers open up. So not the best time of year for that. And this whole bed in general, I try to use a lot of native plants. Obviously, you'll see there's non-native like hostas and different, like what is this called? A painted fern. That's not native here, but a lot of the shrubs are, and this is a silky dogwood, which will have these, you can see the flowers are starting. They'll have these beautiful white flowers on it. And then this is a smooth hydrangea, also native to the area. And these will also have beautiful white flowers. You can see they also have a really cool dried form to them. So what else do we have here? I wanted to show everyone, I was looking forward to showing wild leeks, or ramps as they're called in the south, and we did take a video when we were hiking in Stokes Forest, and you can see them there. I did want to show you those, and maybe I'll get a chance to dig one of these up just to show you real quick. And when you find these in the wilderness, you don't want to harvest a ton of them because it takes them a really long time to reproduce. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'll pull out another one when I get a shovel. but it takes them a really long time to reproduce. So you just want to either harvest some of the leaves and leave the bulb in there, or take a bulb from an area, a bulb here and there, and leave the rest so they can reproduce. And over here, these are also native. These are wild geraniums, and they're just such a petite little pretty flower that pops into this nice shade garden. Always really appreciate those. We got a nice Japanese maple here, and so I cleaned this whole area out, kind of cleaned up the walkway. This is the border of the property. So I'll just take a quick walk up here. There's Groundnut eating the grass. And this is a hazelnut shrub, which I haven't gotten hazelnuts from yet, but when they come, it's going to be awesome. But I doubt we're going to even get any, because most likely the animals are going to be just as stoked as I am to see them. So we'll see on those. What else do we have here? Okay. Just show around a little bit. And these are peach trees. You can see some of the irises coming. Look at these. That's pretty cool, right? So pretty. So many details in these irises. They're not long lived, but they sure are pretty. And these are the peach trees that I grew from the mother peach trees that my grandmother grew many, many years ago. And I finally got them out of the little pots and put them here for now. And hopefully John and I will get a place in the next couple of years where we can actually get these guys in the ground. But here's a dwarf mulberry tree, and you can see just a ton of little baby mulberries coming on. Some of the flowers still left, but that's going to be fun. Again, we'll be battling the birds for those. This is a spirea bush, which is going to look awesome any day now. But that John and I trimmed up this year. Again, this was from a seed from my grandmother's tree that she grew from a peach tree from the grocery store. Like, I don't even know how many years ago. But obviously different stages. And we're hoping to get this one in shape so it's in better health than the ones my grandmother planted that were able to just do, go hog wild and do whatever they wanted to do, which ultimately damaged the tree some. But here's some pulmonaria. It's going out, but really thriving in this nice shady location. Again, you can see the ferns everywhere. They really take over, but they're beautiful. Even over here, we had a little columbine sneak in there. I don't know how. I'm all the way across the yard. I did film this, but I don't think I ever posted it. But this is a butterfly bush that was just as big as this peach tree almost, and I just needed to get it back. So I did a really hard trim, and you can see it is coming back. So we're okay there. So that'll be nice, because now we'll have flowers at eye level. Here's some more wild geraniums starting to bloom. Lots of milkweed coming up. Oh, look here, John. There's a milkweed bug. Can you see that? I'll let you go in there. These guys will be all over in no time, mating all over the place. They're really cute. the lilac trees this year are just about out of bloom. But yeah, so I cleaned this out, took all the wildflowers out. I planted them up on that hill over there, so we'll see what that's going to do. But I really wanted to clean this up, enable you to see the inside of the garden. And these obviously will take a couple of years to look dynamic at all, but I might plant some ground flower type things for the time being. And transplanted a ton of strawberries into this area. And we got a bit of flowers, so we'll have some if the birds don't get them. And I planted a chokecherry shrub here. And this is an elderberry that I took a cutting from a number of years ago. And look, first year it's gonna have some berries. Or at least some flowers. I don't know. I don't know if I have somebody to fertilize it. Oh, look at all these caterpillars on the eating the apple tree. Look at them. No good, no good. But yeah, so with the compost bins, I talked about this in the first video. So now that I'm starting to mow the grass, I'm layering grass with the dried goods, and this will compost really fast because the grass creates the heat with the carbon and the nitrogen, and everything will just turn over real quick. You can already smell it, right? Really good. Here I have some pagoda dogwoods that have to get into the ground. I'd like to get them in the ground within the next 2 weeks. And here's one of the mother peach trees. You can see it has a lot of damage. We have a branch here that's totally dead. This one broke off last year. So we just really have shoots hanging on. And so I wanted to make sure to keep my grandmother's peach tree legacy going. So I'm trying to take care of the peach trees where I can. And I forgot to mention that we lost a ton of ash trees up on the hill and in the neighbor's yard over the past couple of years due to the emerald ash borers. So that the yard is way sunnier, and so there's a lot of shade plants that are not going to do well. So I started moving them under this shrub here. I don't know, just hostas, and I got that little bird bath for Christmas, so I put that in there. And actually, let me show this real quick. So these are bird nest ferns that I bought last year as annuals, and I brought them inside. And these are just the easiest ferns to take care of. They did awesome. They can dry out. They're not like other ferns that are very temperamental and need to be wet all the time. These guys are just awesome. So starting to get them ready to be outside again. So I just kind of keep them in the shade for a little while, and then I'll use them in the landscape. Same thing with the wire vine. I don't know if you've bought wire vine, but you're probably spending like, you know, what, $5 for a 4-inch plant. And these are so easy to keep inside. Now this is lighter colored just because it was blocked behind another plant, but super easy to keep inside. Can dry out, not, you know, not totally dry out, but I'll get these back in the landscape, save some money. Be nice. All right. But I wanted to show some other plants that I kept inside over the winter. This is a fuchsia that I barely watered, and it's already in bloom. Just awesome. So definitely, if you have the space, you have a grow light, the ones I've mentioned so far, the plants I've mentioned so far, do really well inside. Geraniums, these are all geraniums I grew. I have a bunch of them inside that I grew from seed last year, and I brought them all in, and they're all doing excellent. They've flowered a bunch over the winter, so brought welcome color into the house, and you can see this one's just about to flower again. And here's a ton of Japanese maples that I just keep finding all over the yard. Actually, let me show you some of this, and this will help you see my problem. This is one of the problems why I wind up with so many trees and shrubs, because I'm, mowing, and all of a sudden I see this pretty Japanese maple like growing out of the grass. I was like, okay, well, I can't do anything with that. And look, oh, here's another one right here. I can't just run it over, so I wind up digging up everything that I see that I want to be, I don't want to kill, and then I have no home for it. But luckily, there's a plant exchange, like a community plant exchange happening next weekend, so I'm going to be getting rid of a bunch of plants there. So hopefully I'll have time to dig up those Japanese maples and get them some homes to people who don't readily have Japanese maples growing all over. So you can see here a bunch more Japanese maples, and I guess this is where I'll show it. So this is, my grandma also planted mint, and it takes over the whole yard. It's everywhere. So every year I take out some, but I also leave it because it's a memory of my grandma that I love. And these are volunteer chamomile plants, so I got to dig those up soon. I guess we'll go into the garden. And we'll start with this plant over here. So this is rhubarb, and a lot of people say don't let it go to flower because you're going to get less leaves, but it's not that much less leaves, so just let it go to flower so you have something pretty. But I'm about to chop these off, but I wanted to wait because they're going to be going to seed now, and I don't want them to get into seed production. That'll take a lot more energy away from the plant. And over here you can see here's a baby peach tree growing just from the peach pits that fell from the tree. So now I gotta dig that guy up and find a new home. Uh-oh. Somebody's been up to no good. Every year I add compost from the bins right onto the bed in the fall, and then I cover them with leaves and grass. And now we have a ton of, who knows, pumpkin, squash, some type, everywhere. But obviously I can't keep all these, there's no room for them. But what's good to know is that it'll tell you what time of year that you can start planting these in the ground. So these are already well established, on their way. A lot of people wait till the end of May to get those types of crops in, but obviously they're ready to grow. They're growing naturally to the cycle of this climate, which is zone 6, by the way. I transferred the blueberries over here, so they're out of a pot. I have the chipmunk digging in here, so they'll be much happier there. This will go this way. I'll show you. I mean, the lettuce is out of control. We got to eat some lettuce, John. It's time to eat some lettuce. So it's been a great summer for the cold weather crops, and I'm covering them because one of the things I really don't dig in gardening is the cabbage moth, the white moth that lays all its eggs, and then you have tons of those green caterpillars munching all over your greens and pooping all over them. So this year I'm going to cover them. I actually got these for Christmas as well, and they'll actually double up. So I have another one that I'll make like this, and then I can screen them so that they have enough room to grow. That's always been my problem. I don't have anything tall enough, so I finally have something tall enough to protect these. And inside here, again, so many volunteers. So here's some volunteer chamomile. We got volunteer sunflowers. We got volunteer calendula. A little bit of everything just taken off. And here's the potatoes. Doing excellent. I don't know why these 2 rows are doing so good and those 2 are so-so, but that's the way of the garden world. We got the beets are coming up nicely. Onions are looking good. The berry bushes that I planted are all happy in there. And the herbs are really picking up already. And interestingly enough, you can see, I don't know if you can see that plant over there, that one right on the left hand side of that rock, that actually jumped or seeded itself all the way over there. That's an oregano, and you can see the thyme is taken off too everywhere. This bed is crazy looking because there's a lot of stuff that's self-seeded. So this is mostly cilantro in here. You can see cilantro everywhere. So until I need this space, I'm just gonna let it go, let it grow where it wants to grow, and we'll just harvest it from right where it's at. This is all volunteer dill, which I do think I'm gonna dig up and put in that corner right there. And this is the celery that's recently gone in the ground, so not really a ton of growth, but it'll get there. And then this is an interesting thing. So last year I grew some sweet Annie in that corner right there, just like a couple of like little plants. And sweet Annie's not a like a crazy big beautiful flower. It's just got really tiny yellow flowers. Maybe they're not even yellow, like an off-white, but it smells divine, the plant itself. And as you can see, it readily self-seeds itself, so it's everywhere. So I got some work digging that out, but we'll get there. You can see the kale struggling in the center of it, and the beets as well. But once I get this out of here, those guys they'll take off. And the peas are doing super good. And over here we have radishes. You can start seeing the little radishes popping up here. No one seems to like radishes a ton. Like, I always grow them and everyone eats like one for the year, so I don't grow a ton. You eat them? John says he eats them. You can talk. No. No. These are the carrots, and they're looking really good as well. I'll have to thin them out soon. And again, the onions are doing good. Garlic's doing good. And yeah, within the next few weeks, the tomatoes will be in here. This whole bed will be planted up with vegetables and flowers. I just wanted to give you a rundown of what it's looking like right now before that takes place. And you can see here my grandmother's mint taking over this garden bed here, there. This is all calendula that reseeded itself. So there are certain plants that if you grow in the garden, and like you could have flowers for your whole yard just by growing something like this without even having to plant anything, buy any soil, put any grow lights on it, anything. If you don't, if you need to do something on a budget, like go for something that reseeds itself like the sweet Annie, the calendula, the chamomile. Trying to think of what else. The bachelor's button over here reseeds itself really nicely. And yeah, I mean, you can fill up your yard really quickly with beautiful color just from that. So, and that's my problem though. I have a really hard time getting rid of everything, and that's a problem. So like this too, and people will say this is super invasive, morning glory. They're everywhere, but they're so easy to pull that I'm not worried about them. I usually let like one plant grow up the fence through the summer. Okay, so this is a wild edible. It's not, the flowers aren't that open right now, that I think everyone should know. And I want people to think about wild edibles. Like, you don't have to go and eat everything like your main meals every day of your life being wild edibles, but getting them in a couple of times a year is super beneficial, because like conventional farming, a lot of the soil is stripped of nutrients. This hasn't been disturbed, the soil, it's got nutrients in it, so why not get some different type of nutrition? Also, we get the same type of nutrition all the time. We eat the same types of food, so adding something that might be a little bit more bitter, a little bit different flavor, it's giving you a different nutritional profile. So this is a great one. It tastes sweet, it's good. John agrees, right? It's not bad. But this is the telltale sign. I mean, nothing looks like it to me. If you can see, you have, this is basically, you have sets of leaves opposite of one another, and then you can see they also like go different directions, one, and then they have a set of flowers on the top of them. And where's that flower? Okay, so rewind. Okay, so if there's any doubt, you just take a look at these flowers. They have 8 petals, and they're set up in a way that's unique, where they're basically, I don't know if you can see that, they're like sets of 4, 2 together. They're not, I wish I were open, it was sunnier, but can you see it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that quite looks like it. But yeah, you can just harvest the younger shoots and put them right on a salad, on a sandwich. And
you do at the doctor.
okay, so you can just take it and fix me, whatever. Just take it and you. Delicious, yum. Oh, let me quickly get. All right, I just wanted to show the bulb of the
Leek.
the leek, yeah. So. Oh, and then there's violets too. You can always add these to salads, the flowers to salads, make them look pretty. They're tasty enough. Okay, so I wanted to move these wild leeks anyway, so these would be a good one to dig up. But so they're not, this one's not a substantial bulb. This is not the best place. Actually, over there they grow a lot better. But you can see this has a nice oniony, leaky bulb that you can easily add to any dish. I got mud all over my face now. Are you getting all chewed up?
Yeah, I'm getting chewed.
Okay, all right. So that's that. You can, but yeah, if you can, try to harvest like one of the leaves so that you leave one leaf to feed the bulb, and yeah, just use those as like green onions, and we'll call it good. Really forgot to show you guys the Arjuna and our neighbor's lawn, because I mean, it obviously is somewhat invasive, it takes over, but by God, it's pretty. So just wanted to show, and the honeybees and the bumblebees seem to love it as well.
Carpenter bees.
These are carpenter bees.
Yeah, they're carpenter bees.
How do you know? Because they're all the ones that are around are carpenter bees.
Yeah, that's a carpenter bee.
Okay. But yeah, let me just take that and just show how pretty spectacular. Yeah, it's losing. It's going out. It's been in for a little while, but
And then there's the bunny.
where's the bun bun? Where's the bun bun? Hey, bun bun. You want to be on camera? Why do you look all rough around the edges? Why do you look all rough around the edges? Are you all wet? Oh, there's the other bun bun. Hey, bun bun. Is that where you guys are living? Is that where you guys are living? Come here. Are you coming over here? Are you listening? Are you the bun bun I always talk to?